about to get this thing started, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, 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 and welcome. I'm trying to figure out why my nose is so shiny. I know what is going on right here with this shiny nose. Welcome, everybody. What's going on, Rich and Chill? All my people in YouTube, all my peoples in TikTok. Oh, what's up? All right, so we're going into this today. Uh, Is your mind ready for money? Is your mind ready for money? Is your mind ready for money? We're going into it today. We're going to deal with what's actually going on with respect to money and why we feel like we don't have enough of it. Somebody showing me love. Who is it? Rich? What's going on? Thank you for the love. Chill is in the house. Who else in the house? Donald and Max and Jimbo Lawrence Smooth. The Blessing. Thank you, Lafayette. Juicy. C. Milton. What's going on? What's up? Thank you for joining. All right. Got a session for you today. We're dealing with, is your mind ready for money? Now, as we get ready to get into this, I want y'all to know the UNA University is going to be in session on the 16th of October. So we get ready. We're getting geared up, ladies and gentlemen. 16th of October, UNA University is in session. All right, I want to go over the three classes that we have this season. We have Back to Basics. We have I don't know why I just drew a blank. Nation Formation. That one is huge. I'm really excited about that. I'm excited about all of my classes, but Nation Formation as well as Stewardship. So what we're dealing with here is making sure that when we're talking about stewardship, you're understanding when you get your finances, how to build them, how to make sure you don't just squander them. Where's your mindset? Understanding how we got into this situation in the first place, and we're going into the spiritual side of it. Now, why is my camera just going in and out like that? What you doing? Relax, camera. So we're going into that nation formation or stewardship. And then in nation formation, we're actually dealing with the financing side of it. Oh, is oh my I'm blinking too hard over here. So whenever I move, the camera's doing this thing. Okay. So nation formation, all right. This is where we're going into the financing and making sure you're setting yourself up with your EIN numbers, your bank accounts, your TDA accounts, understanding how to get things set up, all right, with your trust, all of that. Okay, we're making sure that you're ready to go. So nation formation is huge, and actually stewardship huge. So you want to be a part of it. If you're wanting to be enrolled in the university, I want you to find the link in the bio. Find the link in the bio so that you can become get enrolled. Okay, we're going to give you a free consultation. Now, I want to go over also the membership package. Welcome all of my new members to UNA. All right, the membership package comes with a trust, your trust documents. Make sure you're under trust. This is the first thing to helping you protect yourself and your assets, okay? The trust. Now, also, we have your membership badge and your allodial ID. Now, with this allodial ID, there is on the back a QR code whereby you can scan it and you'll have quick access to your documents because they're going to be on record with UNA on our public site, as well as this membership badge allows you to scan to show that you are a standing member with UNA. All right, so this is your trust documents. It comes with your membership badge as well as your allodial ID. It also comes with, most importantly, an education. All right, you want to be educated about what's going on with respect to these documents. They're very powerful tools. So you don't just want to have these tools and not know how to wield them. That's important. All right. That's very important. I'm going to figure out how to keep this camera from going in and out with the darkness. Or maybe y'all can't see it. Can y'all see that? Thank you for joining. Thank you for liking and sharing. We want you to like and share and share and like. Okay, now, want to get into now the session. All right. Is your mind ready for money? Welcome everybody. Everybody in YouTube, I want you to like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe. And then my people in TikTok, share. All right. I want to go into what we're dealing with as far as nation formation. Now, when you're forming your nation, it's very important to understand how to handle your finances. Okay? Because when we get our nations, actually, when you also create your trust, you're creating financing documents for those. What am I talking about? Uh, there is in this document, it's called a UCC1, where you're financing. It's called a UCC1 financing statement. And this is where you're stating the value of your organization. All right. You find my UCC1 financing statement. All right. So some of them look different, but what you're doing is stating the value of your organization. Now, the thing is, at some point, you're going to get those funds. You got to know how to operate and use them for your nation. So that's why it's important to be in the university. Now, if you don't get in the university, look up some of this information I'm telling you with respect to UCCs and how to finance your actual EINs or your corporation. All right. So, again, let me go over these so you'll know. So, nobody's saying I'm holding back on the information. We don't want to hold, we want you to have the knowledge. Okay. So, when you have a declaration, when we're talking about our trust documents, the declaration is to declare. I need to go into something real quick so that we understand how powerful these are. Now, y'all know that at some point the United States had to declare its sovereignty from Britain. All right. The United States of America had to declare its sovereignty of Britain, and y'all know of that as the Declaration of Independence, because it was the people who were running the United States of America, and these were what I call elite Moors. They were not indigenous to this land, they were from another place. Even though there were a melanated people that were indigenous to this land, they were calling them Indians, but there were a group of Moors who had created the United States of America, and you'll find that in the Declaration of Independence. All right, and they created a declaration, and that declaration was stating this land of North America is not under the jurisdiction of Britain. That's what that was about. Okay. They also created a constitution, and that constitution stated all of the laws concerning the land. Okay. So now I need y'all to understand in these documents, because the United States of America was the establishment of a new nation. That's exactly what you're doing when you create these documents. There's a declaration in here, excuse me, a declaration in here, and then there's a security agreement, which is your constitution, and then there's a UCC financing statement where you're stating the value of your nation. All right, so you've got to get into that uh, understanding of what's going on, because when we're talking about your trust, this is not just a notion. This is something that's been done for hundreds of years, at least. I'm not going to make up thousands, but definitely hundreds of years with respect to declaring your sovereignty. And this is where the beginning is. So that's what happened with respect to the United States. There was a declaration, and then that's the Constitution, and that declared that these two entities are separate. All right. So now, this is what you're going to do when we're talking about nation formation. You're forming your nation. But then we got to go beyond that. We got to go into understanding these finances, because a lot of people find themselves in a state of despair, and we've got to learn how to come out of that state of despair. And how, and that's the first thing, is getting their mind right. All right. So, and then we want to get the finances right as well. So, one of the things we do to help ease our mind, you ever found some money in your pocket and it was some, some money. You was like, I didn't know I had these $20 in here. And you're excited. It makes you feel good. It's like I found, it's like a gift. We call those ethers. Ethers, like in the darkness where you reach out into the ether and pull something back. We're creating ethers now. All right. Where you're starting to put funds in places in your ethers so that when you need to, and you need to dig into a dark space and pull out something to help you at this time, you can do that. You know, when you reach into that ether, it's there for you. So we're creating those kind of things. What happens when you start creating and you start purposely putting these funds away in places and just letting them sit there and hang out? Then they start to collect money. Okay, so we're creating ethers that actually accumulate funds. So we want to get you into the university so we can start doing that. Start building on your wealth for your nation. Start learning how to put aside funds. We're also going to start going into acquiring assets like properties, all right, homes, vehicles, how you can acquire these things. All right. We also go into when it comes to cleaning up credit, that's something we do. We don't get into it, but I mean, it's simple enough to clean up credit, but then managing the credit is the big deal. How do you manage it to make sure you use it so that you can acquire what you need? How do we start leveraging money? All right. If you've got access to $10,000, how do you use that to get something bigger that you really desire? You follow? So how do we get to the point where we've actually got access to $10,000? We're getting into that. And so we want you to come into the university because especially as we get into nation building, you got to know how to create the funds and put them where they need to go. And then the big thing, how do we even get to that point? First thing is your mind, getting your mind right. All right. I'm going to go into this a little bit and then I'm going to get out of here. If y'all have any questions about law, please write them in the comments section. I want to hear it. Let me see what my people in YouTube are doing. All right. All right. So thank y'all for joining. Thank you for liking and sharing. Okay. So now, want to get into this. We've talked a lot about the vibratory frequency and the vibratory frequency chart. Now, if you are interested in that vibratory frequency chart, I invite you to go to UNARepublic.com. You can get the ebook. All right, you can go ahead and get that ebook, and it's only $14.99. All right, and so it'll have that vibratory frequency chart in it. But what we have to start recognizing is what energy are we in? Are you in your right energy when you are uh, operating? Or when you're paying money? Are you stressing about bills? Let's understand that if you are finding yourself in that kind of energy, once again, you're not in your right mind, and you got to understand you are blocking. So what we learn to do is how to get past some of these blocks that we have. This is why we get you to come into the university so we learn, all right, how to make sure we don't cause a situation where we're not able to access what we desire or access what we vision because of the simple fact that we're stressing so hard we can't see the path. That's important. Vibratory frequency. All right. Let me pull out the vibratory frequency chart if I can find it. I'll just pull out the book. This is, I dropped everything on the floor. The vibratory frequency chart. Let's pull it. All right. So I normally have a nice vibratory frequency chart right here. All of these are my maxims of law in this book. This is the UNA Beginner Law book. All right. And it does have the vibratory frequency chart. Very important. Why? Because we got to learn how to operate up in here in these higher vibratory frequencies because that's when we're operating in our right mind. All right. So recognize that once again, you can get that ebook off of UNARepublic.com. But one of the things we want to start recognizing is that when we are learning how to control our minds, learning how to meditate, meditate. That, that's not the easiest task to meditate and keep your mind focused on nothing. Try it. Give it 2 minutes to keep your mind focused on nothing, because what you're learning to do is to train yourself to let go of things. That's important. So when we get into this, we start to recognize, uh, first of all, how to be grateful. If you are in a situation where you're always stressed out about money, you're stressed out about paying a bill, you're stressed out about whatever it is, we've got to learn to pull back and have gratitude. Be grateful for what we do have. It's amazing how your universe responds when you start to show gratitude. When you're angry or anxious about paying a light bill or a gas bill, we got to learn to pull back and have gratitude. Because let's talk about what happens. This is now I'm going to go into the universal laws. Universal laws. That's also in this beginner law book. It's also in the book. But let's go into the universal laws, or one of the universal principles. All right. The law of compensation. Whenever you're putting out whatever energy, money, whatever, the universe doesn't care what it is. As long as you put it out with love, as long as you put it out with gratitude, by law, it must come back to you. So, one of the things that we want to get into the habit of doing is making sure that we have gratitude. For example, instead of being upset about your light bill, universe, thank you for this light. I can get my work done. I have access to the internet. I can, use my computers and everything else. My refrigerator keeps my food cold. I am grateful. So when we start having gratitude about the things that are around us, then the universe starts working for you differently. All right, everything starts to show up the way you vision it. That's important. Give gratitude instead of being upset about it. Because again, the universe does not care about what you give or who you give it to. As long as you give it with love, then the universe got to bring it back to you. That's a universal principle, law of compensation. And we start learning to use that. All right. And you're getting your mind ready for money. When you're operating in that way, then you're opening up the path to abundance and prosperity. All right. So we are opening up our path to abundance and prosperity, and we do that by giving gratitude. That's important. Thank you, Rizzy, for liking the live. Let me see who else. If y'all have any questions about law, I would love to get into some law. Let me know what you have questions about, because then I will answer, and quickly. All right, so now, all my people in YouTube, if you're catching this stream, I want to say thank you for joining. All right. And thank you for liking and sharing and subscribing. All right. So now we're understanding the law of compensation. And at some point, I'm going to go through these laws, all of them, universal laws. They are very, very powerful. And when y'all hear people saying ignorance of the laws, no excuse, they're talking about these universal laws. The ignorance of the universal laws, there's no excuse. If you don't know what they are and you are constantly not in harmony with the universal laws, well, then you're going to experience negativity. You're going to get that energy back, and it's not going to feel good. And you're going to think the universe is going against you. No, but it's really just you and the energies you're putting out. Y'all find these universal laws, and I know this is backwards for TikTok, but you're going to find these universal laws. Once again, you can go and get the ebook at UNARepublic.com. All right, so now I talked about the law of compensation, all right, which is where the universe returns whatever energy you put out many times over. Let me get into the law of attraction real quick, and then I'm going to get out of here. You heard about how people say you're attracting to you who you are. All right. If you are a worrier of money, or one who worries about money, then what you're attracting to you is that the money not be there for you. That's what you're attracting. Remember, money is just a currency or an energy. If you want it to come back to you, put it out with love. It's going to come back. It's going to find its way back. That's how it works. But if you're worrying about it, if you're constantly stressed out, you're blocking. All right. So I hope we're getting that. Y'all can find the laws. Okay. Go ahead and find this on UNARepublic.com. Find that ebook. And I look forward to you all joining. Once again, if you want to join, find the link in the bio or go to UNARepublic.com and request a consultation. It's going to be a free consultation so that we can get you enrolled in the university. We've got 3 wonderful classes: back to basics, stewardship, nation formation. We want you all to come on and join us because this is a very powerful season. If you have been trying to form your nation, if you've been concerned about your business and protecting it, if you're concerned about protecting your family, because that is a part of your nation, you want to become enrolled in the university. Go ahead, once again, find the link in the bio. Find the link in the bio, and then we want you to go ahead and enroll. All right. So we can have you in class October 16th. We get getting kicked off October 16th. Let's do it. Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. I want y'all to know I love you. I appreciate you. I love you and I appreciate you. We'll be back Friday, if not before then, because we got some things to go over before. I like this one.
UNA University for me. UNA. Paradise all your life. University.